It's alright. I have mixed feelings about it, but not in the usual way. Like the content itself is pretty good. The storms, which there are 8, add a nice, feature to the map, so add an effect, something to fight against, makes it feel a little bit more alive. Although, like with not much resource and tech investment, you can pretty much negate the negative effects of the storms. It's not really that hard. They do buff things, and in some cases can be really useful depending on what you're doing, but it doesn't really have the same effect I was wishing it would, given an extra layer of strategy, particularly for military use, as negating the effects for your planets and ships. It's fairly easy to get slash for your enemies if you plan to use it as a way of kind of creating an area of danger where maybe you already has tech or whatever. Or I mean, there are some bonuses with the origins and civics, which are pretty good, but they're kind of just there most of the time. Not really much of a threat, just fine. And also repelling them is pretty easy too with the text you get. But the new origin and civics are pretty good. They added extra build options, which are always nice, and they are pretty strong too. So at least the origin and the civic you get are pretty cool, and you could definitely still use what I was hoping the storm is going to be as a sort of like area of denial, like area of buffing specifically you, which yeah, is definitely something you can do with new origins and civics, but not really to the extent that I was hoping. I really wish you could create an area that was heavily towards your favor or something like that. I could definitely see maybe something like sovereign guardianship and kind of create an area where you're just really strong and buffed in like your own territory or something like that. It can kind of see that, but the storms just don't really do what I was hoping for them to do. They do have a cool aesthetic, but besides that, they're kind of just overall And besides that, there are some new things added with Valorant Storms, like edicts and resolutions and all of that. There's also 2 new precursors, which are, that's always nice to have some extra precursors, just a that little extra thing. But oh yeah, and you can create storms too, which is useful if you, more so if you're using the storm origin, stuff like that, or even then if you have the most of the storm negation text or just all of them, which again, not too hard to get. Then you can send one around, choose which one you want, and buff whatever certain aspect you want for your empire. That's pretty much it. What DLC adds, I do like what it adds. It's just that it's not really too much. What it does add, more so for the storm aspect, is like a little less than I wanted, but still good. And it's like the thematic of creating storms and kind of worshiping storms and all that, like, sounds kind of cool to you, and sort of using them as a weapon, or at least like controlling the the galaxy as in a way through that sounds interesting to you. Then you should get the DLC, if that sounds cool to you. But otherwise, if thematic doesn't sound interesting to you, you can stick with the DLC. It's not bad. It's alright. It's pretty good. Just doesn't really add too much, and it is nice that it is a completely just fun optional feature. There's nothing in the DLC which I feel like maybe should have been like a base game edition, or maybe they kind of snuck in something really really integral to Solars, kind of in there as like a little thing like to the side where it's like, okay, well now I kind of want to buy this Devil DLC because they added this little thing. Nope, everything here completely optional, fun new stuff. So get it if you want. I personally think you should catch on sale, but if the thematic sounds cool to you, then yeah, sure, get it.